everyone. Today I'm here with my 2018 Project Life album, week 25. I have my photos ready to go from the batch printing that I did earlier. And I have my July Citrus Twist Pocket Life kit and the July stamp as well to play around with. And I haven't done anything more than this. I thought this week I would show you the whole process, how I choose where to put my photos, what things I choose from the kit to use. I thought I would just do the whole thing this time. So I am just going to put you on fast forward and get started. So I'm just going to place my photos down. I'm looking at the backs of them to see the date that's written on the back of each photo, and I start by just placing them in what's basically chronological order. But I do move them around just a little bit to make sure that the spread is balanced and that the stories are together. So there are some photos that have a consistent story to them, even though they weren't taken on the same day, and I want those to be together on my spread. So I have no problem having them in some other order other than chronological on my spread if it makes sense for the layout. So now I'm just looking through the journal cards, and I'm pulling aside ones that I think will work, and I really like this one in the middle that says all things happy, and that kind of sets the color scheme for the layout. So it's kind of a reddish orange and a kind of periwinkle blue, and that's what I choose, what I use to choose the rest of the cards for the spread. And that 6x8 paper. Sorry, my cat was on the table trying to get into things. So now I'm just looking through the items from the cut apart sheet from this month's kit and pulling out the ones that I think will work and ones that match the color scheme. And right now I'm just kind of laying them down where I think they might go. This is definitely not their permanent place. I'm just kind of throwing them down on the spread, and I'll go back and edit through them later on as I work through each card. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the ephemera pack, and you may notice that this pack is fairly thin compared to the usual pack, and that's because I've already sorted through and pulled out a bunch for another project that I'm working on. So when I got this kit, I could tell right away that it was going to be perfect for a mini book that I'm doing, a mini album, and so I went through it, and same thing with that puffy sticker sheet. I cut out a bunch of bits from it that I thought would really work well with my mini album project. So that's why this kit is a little bit lighter than normal. It's because I've already pulled those aside for something else. So I need to trim down this 6x8 paper to fit my 3x4 pocket, but I realized that my new trimmer doesn't have a 4-inch mark on it. So I had to pull out the little guillotine trimmer that I use often. So I'm going to work on the title card now, and I'm going to use this label from the label cut apart sheet that comes with the kit. It's that same kind of reddish orange color that is in a lot of the rest of the cards and embellishments that I've pulled out for the kit. And then I'm going to use the blue puffy alpha stickers that also came with the kit. I really love these stickers. I can't get enough of these stickers. So, and this color is just perfect for the theme that I have for this spread. So I thought about maybe using that little tab because I really want something above the alpha stickers, but it just wasn't quite the same color as the label, and it just wasn't working. So instead, I'm going to pull out the stamp from this month, and I'm going to use a stamp that says Life and Love Captured, and I'm going to put it right above where the label, or I'm sorry, where the alpha stickers, where the week 25 is going to go, so that they overlap just a little bit. And I'm going to use gray ink. I thought black ink would just be a little bit too harsh for this spread, since there really isn't any other black except one little phrase sticker or phrase cut apart piece, I guess. But it just seemed a little too harsh. So I'm going to go with gray, and I'm putting the little thickers alignment tool just so I can see where the letters are going to go, and then I stamp right behind where I'm going to adhere the letters. And then I'm just going to add a little puffy heart and the dates for this week's spread, and that's going to be it for my title card for this week. I'm really terrible at cleaning off my roller date stamp, so when I use any color other than black, I always have to make sure to clean it very well, or it will not come out true to the ink color that I'm using. So I've moved on to this bottom card, and I'm going to just adhere the photo to the card that I've chosen, and then add this little tab ephemera piece that says captured. And then I just added a little tiny attacher staple to the top of that. And I'm just going to add a couple lines of handwritten journaling, and then I'll add a date stamp, and that will be it for that card. Like usual, I'm keeping it pretty simple, trying not to over embellish, which is a tendency I fight fairly often, just because there's so many beautiful things to use and I just want to use them all the time. But then I end up thinking that my spreads are just too much. And sorry about my messy hair in the photo or in the video. It always seems to happen. I don't know if my camera angle is off, but for some reason my head is getting in my videos recently, so I apologize for that. You don't need to see my dirty hair all the time. Okay, so I'm moving on to this other photo, and just like the other one, I'm going to use a circle embellishment from the kit, and I'm thinking it just needs a little bit something extra, so I'm going to take one of the stamps. Oh, I'm so sorry about my messy hair. This is not good. You can't see what I'm doing at all. So I apologize for that. But what I'm doing is just taking this stamp and I'm curving it along the edge of the circle so that I can stamp on the edge of the circle. I'm just curving it on the acrylic block that I'm using, and it will bounce right back to its normal shape when I'm finished. But that allows me to stamp that sentiment, which says "all in a day," along the outside of that embellishment piece. I'm just going to add the little black phrase bit to that photo in the center, and then I'm going to do the same with this blue one to this card, and that's all I'm doing for those two. Like I said, trying to keep it very simple. So now for this middle card, the photo is just a little bit too big. I had kept a white border on it, but if I left the white border on, then it just covered up too much of this card. You wouldn't be able to see the little red stripes at the bottom or the bottom of the word happy. So I just trimmed it down a little bit so that it fit better, and I think it looks better on this card that way. And now I'm thinking I want to add a label to this card, just so I can do a couple lines of journaling, because it's hard to really tell what's happening in the photo. So I just grabbed this blue label, and it's actually a speech bubble, but I just cut off the little pointy bit that makes it like a speech bubble so that I can use it just as a plain label. I'm going to keep my journaling to one side because I know I want to hang it off the right side of this card and trim it down. I add a staple, and that's it for that one. So for this one, I was trying to decide which of these ephemera pieces to use, and I didn't like the yellow that the one added, and I felt like it really just needed another pop of blue instead of more of that pink and coral that's in some of the other embellishments. There's already kind of a triangle of that dark coral red color, and there needed to be another spot of blue on the spread. So I'm going to use this little blue ephemera piece, and I want to add a stamp to it. I thought maybe about using one of the stamps from the stamp set that came with the kit, but it just didn't quite fit right on this little piece. So instead I'm going to use this home stamp from the July stamp set from Citrus Twistkits, and I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to adhere it so that it hangs off the edge and just trim it off. And then I'm going to add another puppy heart sticker, because you can never have enough puppy heart stickers, and adhere it with a staple to make sure it stays in place. And that's going to be it for that one. So now I'm just looking at the spread, trying to decide if it needs anything else. And I decided to go ahead and add my journaling so I could tell whether it really needed anything more than that. And after looking at it, I think it's done. So here are a few close-up photos of the spread. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found some inspiration. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. It means so much to me. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already so that you get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.